A client met his banker to discuss opening a restaurant in a busy airport. In us, he found a partner that understood the importance of reaching for the sky. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/Mac.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey everybody, I'm Gigi.
And I'm Fruit Loop.
And first off, we want to apologize for the sound quality of this. We are not in our studio this week, and so we had to sort of improvise. We have all of our equipment here, but we need an adapter. But the news today was kind of big, so we didn't want to wait until tomorrow. So we're going to jump right in. Also, if you hear any loud bangs in the background, the people around us have started celebrating the 4th of July early, and so they're shooting off fireworks. So if you hear some loud bangs, we're not in the middle of a crime or anything. It's just a little celebration starting early. So we're going to get right in. Today, the third search warrant was executed on Chad Daybell's property. This is the third one since January. We had the one in January. We had the one where they found the remains of the kids. And then today, very different search warrant by the looks of it.
Yeah, there was not as many police cars there. I don't think they sealed the road off because Eric was able to get right close to the house. So,
yeah, Ashley Banfield actually said on Court TV just a little while ago that sources told her that they knew exactly what they were going for. And you could see that. They were only there maybe a couple of hours at most. And who did they serve the warrant, the papers to?
It said Chad Daybell's son-in-law, so we're assuming that's Joseph because they're living there.
Yeah, Joseph and Emma are living there.
Yeah, and it said they went in the house and then the 3 buildings or whatever outside.
So we know they were in the barn, and that's really always been a place of interest to us. I think maybe we were thinking, and it's not pleasant by any means, but we know now that Tylee's body was dismembered, and we've always kind of thought where that might have happened, and I think they're looking for something related maybe to something like that. It seems a little odd that the autopsy was sent out for additional testing last week, and then today we get the search warrant.
Yeah, and we learned about things you could find from bones and different things like that, so it just led us to believe that that's what led to this search warrant.
Yeah, we were watching a documentary on forensic anthropology not too long ago, and there are a lot of specialists out there who can tell, especially in cases of dismemberment, what kind of tools were used based on the way the bone was affected. So it'll be interesting to see what they find. It seems like they definitely knew what they were going for. I'm curious if they maybe have sprayed that barn for luminol to see if there's any blood around.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
Yeah. So we know there were less people. There was somebody there from Fremont County, which is where Tammy's death was, but we believe this was related to the kids because of Rexburg being the one that had the search warrant. And
so it's crazy how all this information is dropping like all at once.
Yeah, it's just really fast. And a lot of people have raised concerns about the fact that Emma and Joseph are living there, but this is really typical after a big discovery like that. I wasn't surprised that they did go back to the property. We don't know what they found with the bodies or on the bodies as far as any kind of damage, but they obviously have found a reason to go back to that property, to a pretty specific place. It seems like they were centered outside around the barn in that garage area. So we'll see. We're waiting on the, speaking of a probable cause affidavit, Lori Vallow just got upgraded charges.
Yeah, that was more info dropped today. I wasn't shocked by it. We knew something was coming, and we knew that the desertion charges and the other things she was charged with, they were going to upgrade those. And so what were their charges upgraded to?
So as you know, she was charged with 2 counts of felony desertion, but we know now she didn't desert the kids. She participated probably in their murder. She was charged today with 2 counts of conspiracy to conceal or destroy evidence. And that is a little bit different than Chad's charges, although they expect that he will be charged with this tomorrow. Chad's charges are destroying evidence, and conspiracy obviously is planning to do hiding the remains with other people, and specifically Chad and Alex were mentioned. So it makes me think that they're really starting to get a big picture of at least who was intimately involved in this crime.
Yeah, and we know they released Alex's phone pings. Was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks ago. And I just wonder if these are not starting to come down. That we're going to see this.
Right.
That the pings have connected them to that area.
Right. And the one thing that we did notice about the affidavit for Chad was that they only put out Alex's pings of his phone. But now if we get the probable cause that drops maybe tonight or tomorrow, hopefully we'll see in there maybe some pings from Lori's cell phone, because clearly now they've tied her to conspiring with Chad and Alex to conceal these bodies, which are her children.
Exactly. And what did Ashley Banfield say about being ready for court?
Well, and a lot of people are expressing a disappointment these aren't murder charges, but one thing that she said that made a lot of sense is that any person charged with a crime has the right to a speedy trial once they've been charged. So, which means the state, the prosecution, has to be ready in a very short amount of time to go to court and prove their case to a jury. And that's a very daunting thing. I mean, juries are unpredictable. You've got to have it down pat. And so what this means is that I think the murder charges are coming. Homicide, murder, however they're going to do it. It's just right now, they've got to be ready to defend this in court if they both say, we want a speedy trial. It's got to take place within so many, weeks. So the murder charges are coming. We're just getting started. I mean, we're not even, the kids in themselves are going to be huge charges, and rightfully so. But I'm expecting to hear something about Tammy Daybell's autopsy any minute now, and we still know that Lori is a person of interest in Charles Vallow shooting. So we're just now starting to see these charges roll out. It seems like it's been since February that she's been held on desertion. And it was just a matter of time once they found the bodies before they went for bigger charges.
Yeah, and the evidence just keeps getting stacked on top of each other, just piling up of what they have to charge them.
Right. I think we're going to have a little bit of a better picture as far as her involvement as soon as those documents drop. And we're going to keep an eye out on the Idaho criminal website where they post all of these documents for us to look at, the ones that have been made public. So we're definitely going to keep you updated on that. I don't know. We're not lawyers, so I'm sure sometimes we butcher things that we say one thing but mean another. And sorry about that, but I'm not sure. Would they have to have another arraignment? We'll have to look that up, and we'll talk about it on the next podcast. We will do another podcast probably tomorrow when this sort of picks back up and we get the probable cause and see if Chad's going to have further charges. But yeah, so, some of the things they could be looking for is, we know that JJ was wrapped in plastic and there were garbage bags and duct tape, and they could be looking for shovels. We just don't know. But I would say it has something to do with either the murder itself or what they used to dispose of the kids.
Sure. And we know that garbage bags, you can match those. They actually have almost like a fingerprint because of how they're made, that they'll line up and you can actually match those. So if they were garbage bags left, they can easily match those to what he was put in. Yeah. And I'm interested to see if there was anything found at the dump, because this family had to be under surveillance, and they made multiple trips to the dump. Somebody that worked there confirmed that they had been there, the family. So I think we're just starting to get to where the pieces are starting to fit together after all this time of following this case. We're starting to get answers, but we were talking today about how we never could have imagined how evil this crime seems to be. Yeah.
It's just terrible. So the other thing we want to talk about real quick is Melani Pawlowski has her custody hearing in a couple of days on the 1st. And there were some papers released regarding that today, some official court documents. And a few things caught our eye. And number one is that in the documents, it says that Melani is a person of interest in Brandon, her ex-husband's attempted murder.
Yeah, that was, and some of this we kind of knew, but it hadn't been put in a document like this.
Yeah. So that's big news. And the other thing was they said that she was a person of interest in other multiple felony acts, including missing children who are both now deceased. So, and then they also mentioned the conflicting statements that she had been making in these TV interviews. And you know, I always say sometimes when cops are watching people, they'll let them go on TV because you give them just enough rope, they'll hang themselves. And I think maybe that's what they're looking for with Melani as far as those interviews is just some inconsistent statements. But I think Melani's days as a free woman are starting to wind down.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
She's going to go down. I fully expect Melani Pawlowski to be arrested. Don't see how she's going to avoid it. And I'm going to be very curious to see her whereabouts on the day Brandon was shot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out. We knew Melanie Gibb was going to testify in this, and we got a little bit of insight of what she's going to be testifying about. That Melanie Pawlowski told her that 2 of her children and the father, which is Brandon, they were zombies. That the mother's new husband, which was Ian, was found to pose a risk of harm to his biological children. And just different stuff like that she's going to testify about. So,
yeah, I hope we get some information out of that. Like we said before, we're not sure with it being a family court situation where minors are involved. But then again, this case is so huge. It feels like something will probably come out of that. So we're going to keep an eye on all that for you. If the probable cause affidavit drops, we will definitely do another podcast tomorrow, hopefully with a little better audio. Was there anything else, Fruit Loop, on that document that was interesting?
I mean, the only other thing was she told Melanie Gibb that Brandon was part of Hitler's tight group of friends during Hitler's life. So you think this case can't get any weirder?
They done brought Oprah and Hitler into this.
Yeah,
it is the oddest thing I've ever seen.
It's very odd.
Hey, shout out to Mikhail.
Hey, Mikhail.
What's going on? Mikhail is one of our younger listeners. She's a teenager. And so the question she had, if the autopsies came back, and that's the reason they went to search. And we were talking about that earlier, Mikhail. We do think that maybe something they found in this autopsy or something they found when they exhumed the bodies that day may have warranted another reason to go take a look on his property. They did bring out some bags. So obviously they found what they were looking for, and it was said that they knew exactly what they were looking for. So we're going to keep an eye on everything for you. This is a really quick update for everybody. Hope you're doing well. We will talk to you guys in the next day or two, depending on when some more news drops.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.